I smashed my nephew's phone on purpose, and I'd do it again without hesitation. I already know how this sounds, and I'm fully prepared for people to call me cruel, unhinged, or abusive. But before you judge me, you need the full context. My nephew, Jake, is 13 years old. He's not a bad kid in the traditional sense. He doesn't steal, he doesn't get into fights, and he does fine at school. The problem is that he's been completely ruined by being told no consequences his entire life. His parents, my sister and her husband, believe in gentle parenting, which in practice means Jake can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, with zero pushback. The phone was the worst part. Jake got his first smartphone at 9 years old. Not a cheap one. The latest model at the time. Unlimited internet, social media, games, the works. From that moment on, the phone basically became his personality. He'd ignore people mid-conversation, blast TikTok at full volume, insult adults if they interrupted him, and scream if anyone asked him to put it away. His parents would laugh it off. He's just expressing himself. He's sensitive. He'll grow out of it. He didn't. Last summer, my sister asked if Jake could stay with me for a week while they went on a work trip. I hesitated, but I agreed, on one condition: no phone at the dinner table and no phone after 10 p.m. She agreed immediately, and then didn't mention it to Jake at all. The first night, I asked him to put the phone down at dinner. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "You're not my parent. You can't tell me what to do." I was stunned. I calmly told him that in my house, those were the rules. He laughed, pushed his plate away, and went to his room, slamming the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. I texted my sister. She told me to just let it go, because Jake had big emotions. Over the next few days, it got worse. He mocked me, swore at me under his breath, refused to help with anything, and stayed up until 3 a.m., gaming and yelling into his headset. When I reminded him of the rules, he'd smirk and say, "What are you going to do about it?" On the 4th day, everything snapped. I was on an important work call when Jake came into the room blasting music on his phone. I asked him to turn it down. He didn't. I asked again. He rolled his eyes and turned it up louder. I muted my call and told him very clearly to leave the room. He laughed and said, "You're pathetic." Something in me just broke. I stood up, took the phone out of his hand, walked to the kitchen, and smashed it against the counter. Once. Twice. The screen shattered completely. The music stopped. The silence was unreal. Jake froze, then started screaming like I'd committed a crime. He called his parents sobbing, telling them I was abusive and insane. My sister called me immediately, furious, demanding to know what I'd done. I told her exactly what happened. No sugarcoating. She screamed that I'd traumatized him, that I owed them a new phone, and that I'd crossed an unforgivable line. She came and picked him up that same night. It's been months now. Here's the part people don't expect. Jake doesn't speak to me anymore. And honestly, I'm fine with that. But according to my parents, something changed. Without the phone, he had meltdowns at first. Real ones. Then slowly things calmed down. He got a cheaper replacement with strict limits.